Hello, this is MediMarx, and this is a War Thunder. I'm going to be showing off a plane that I rather like, that I don't see a lot of content for out on the internet. I know some people have done different challenges and things with it. I'm still going to keep producing other content. I'm not like super full-time War Thundering, but I do rather like this game, and I find it to be pretty fun. And I'm mostly just making the videos to show to my friends who I play with and anybody else who might be a little bit interested in seeing a game maybe they haven't seen before, or a plane that doesn't get a lot of attention. I don't claim to be very good at this game, but I like to think I'm not awful. So the plane I'm going to be showing off is the Yak-15. It's the first jet that I've managed to acquire in this game. It has taken a very long time to acquire said jet. And for a little bit of background history on the plane, if you're interested, the Yak-15 was the first jet that the Soviet Union built. They'd had a jet program prior to World War II, but they ultimately decided that it was more important to focus on planes that they knew that were going to work, since there was going to be a war coming soon, than investing a lot of time and effort into something wacky, so that nobody knew if it was going to work or not. And they ended up being quite far behind the other major European powers when it came to jet propulsion. So they started capturing jet engines from Germany during the war, and they ended up getting this little engine and strapped it to a already existing piston prop plane, which is the Yak-9 or the Yak-3, the different variants. So it used to be this plane. They ripped the propeller off, took out the engine, stuck on a jet engine, and had to put a little metal plate down here on the bottom because the heat from the jet engine was so much that it would melt up through the plane. They also had to work with the back wheel for the landing gear because the heat coming out of the jet would often melt that wheel. Now, I think part of the reason why this plane isn't very popular is because it does have two 23mm cannons, which can do quite a bit of damage, even in arcade, but you only have 120 shots with which to work. And even in arcade mode, where you can reload constantly after you run out of ammo, that's a pretty strong constraint. I can only imagine how difficult it would be to fly this plane in simulator or realistic, given the extremely low amount of ammo that you have. Even so, it's odd too, because your thought is a jet is going to go very fast. This jet is actually quite slow. It's only slightly faster in some cases than a prop plane. 40 miles an hour or so faster than a prop plane. So it's not a dramatic improvement. And the Soviets never meant for this plane to be used as an actual combat craft, although it did sometimes in the Korean conflict and elsewhere get used in combat. It primarily was just a trainer to take people who had only ever flown prop planes with piston engines, teach them how to fly a jet. So, and I'm using it in that capacity. So, I also want to make this video because I don't think I have ever, in the many games that I've played in arcade, I don't think I've ever seen another person playing the Yak-15. So, I'm going to throw out a little video here of mine and see how it goes. So I've got it locked to my view. The jet engine is rather loud, but you'll be seeing it as I saw it. Trying to look behind, make sure nobody runs into me. I'm climbing away and to the right. This map is a capture the point map with two capture points. One's there away to my left and one's below me to the right. Whichever team can manage to cap the two first will win, basically. You have to hold them, but you'll win eventually. And there are boats down there. I'm not going to mess around with the boats because I don't have any ability to. And we'll see how it goes. This is not my very first game with this jet, because my very first few encounters with this jet were pretty crappy. I'll also note that this is arcade, which is basically pretty low-level skill level in general, but I can't imagine a world in which I would try to use this in realistic and have enough success, at least at my skill level, to make a video that would be pleasing to show to people that I know. So the thing that's special about this jet is that it retains its speed for a very long period of time, and also flies really well. It is incredibly maneuverable for a jet. It's one of the better turning planes that the Soviets have, period, in their entire tree. So you can see here, I didn't even black out or really destroy myself there, so I do a little bit of a junky hammerhead. If there's an associate on this guy, I miss a little bit there. Bullets are flying back behind him. I can't hold down on the trigger. See, you can see these other guys are shooting and missing at this 9UT as well. I can't hold the trigger down like them because I only have 120 shots at any given time. So if I use all of them, I'm screwed. I'm more or less just in the way. Do a roll here to get turned 180 degrees around. Some people call it an Immelmann turn, but there's a lot of stuff called the Immelmann. Immelmann being a World War I German pilot that invented a lot of fighting maneuvers. The white stuff going by me is AA from the ships down below. I don't want to get hit by that. This plane doesn't have a great deal of resiliency to damage. Also, another thing about arcade is I don't have to worry so much about fuel. Normally with these really low tier jets, fuel is a major concern or a limiting factor in your performance. So here we go. I see some red dots down there. Maybe if you play the video in 720, you can likewise see the dots. But we're gonna stalk out this guy down here, I'm pretty sure, yeah. So I'm just diving on him. I slide myself right in behind. This is a Bearcat. Or Thunderbolt, yes. And there's an ally that came out of nowhere, so it looks like I might be a little bit of a kill stealer. I'm having trouble actually hitting him. I'm getting frustrated, so I hold the trigger down more. Continue to miss. And he dies. So I just missed every shot on that guy. Well played. But see, this is an example of the plane's energy retention. I was down really close to the ground, and now I'm quite high up again. I would say somewhere over 1,000 meters. Maybe even start height of like 2.5. I just shot right up to the sky. So here's a Bearcat. And this guy, I'm not high enough to dive him properly, so he decides to try and head on me, but because my plane turns much better than his, I just keep myself out of his crosshair and then do a little bit of a roll, and that's going to bring me around right behind him. He's trying to turn around to get facing me, and he can't do it because I'm too fast. There we go. We broke his wing off. It's not on the camera view there, sadly. But I managed to snag his wing as he tipped it up, and it broke off. But this plane's major advantage is that you're relatively fast. You're not a super slow plane for Tier 4, but the maneuverability you have and the turning speed is just exceptional. So this guy is not paying attention, really. It's a Focke-Wulf. I'm just going to cut his wing off real quick and fly away. You never want to stall, especially in arcade, you don't want to end up in situations where you're stalled out up in the air like that. That's just guaranteed death. I scope another victim over here. He's got another guy coming on him. Or I guess not. His little blue dot went away. So Carl Sagan is not a thing for that guy. Oh, this is a Mustang. Yeah, so I'm trying to stop him from killing our little boats. But I think I'd struggle in doing that. So there are boats getting obliterated by this Mustang. And I think I'm not going to end up killing him. Yeah, because I'm flying so fast, it's hard for me to line up my shots on this guy who's going a bit slower. He takes really nasty damage to his wing, and he's going to go down. I just lay into him a bit, but I don't get the kill. And I've bled a lot of my speed turning on that guy, so I have to climb for a little bit. As you can see, my energy was pretty low there, so I've got to just sit here for a little bit and collect myself. As far as how I play this game, I use mouse and keyboard. The mouse less so than the keyboard. I've taken to really using the keyboard to do complex maneuvers because I feel like it's a lot more reliable than the mouse controls. See, I've just been sitting here for a little bit jibber-jabbering, and I've already climbed quite high. There's this guy to my right. He's closing in on me and getting very close. So I've got to do an evasive maneuver. I'm going to duck under him. He can't turn around in time to actually get any shots off. I'm going to do a loop to put him underneath me, and there he is. So he dove straight down, and now he crashed into the ground. So I'm pretty sure he got shot down by somebody. Yeah, he got shot down by a Focke-Wulf. But the main thing for this plane is to avoid head-to-heads. You're flying so fast, you have turning advantage. And your gun is unreliable at best. So if you can avoid it, that's for the best. So we're gonna find this Yak-3P, pretty good Soviet plane, but I'm gonna lay into him a little bit. He's pretty laggy though. Lagginess is a problem here because it causes stutter. So I'm going to put him underneath me again. He climbs up actually, and this should be easy, but I miss every shot. There he goes. I hit his tail. Generally, when you hit someone's tail, they're more or less dead. But I'm going to try and find him here. There he is. And get some more shots. Now, I've committed all my energy to fighting this, to getting this kill. And I'm also directly over their airfield, so that's a problem. I know now I'm gonna die for this kill. But I've had enough fun. And he's trying to outclimb me or do anything, and that's just not working. Now you'll say, why aren't you shooting at him? That's because I already used up all my ammo. There we go. So he gets some more damage. He's basically Swiss cheese. So, oh, and I get shot. So there's like, I take one shot, and look at what happened to my plane. So this is not a particularly durable machine. So there we go. Shot down by a Spitfire. So I've got another video here for your viewing pleasure. This is a ground destruction mission. So the idea is to kill the enemy bases with heavy bombers and destroy their ground units. So my objective here basically is to kill bombers, which this plane is not particularly good at, especially heavy bombers, American B-17, B-24. That's not in the cards for this plane, really. You could manage it, but the frailty of this plane right now, granted, I don't have a lot of the upgrades for it. Maybe it gets better with an airframe upgrade or something, but right now, not so much. It's just not built for that. You have to take out the fighters, and this plane is pretty good at taking out fighters, particularly fighters who want to take head-to-heads with you, because you maneuver so quickly that they really can't continue going on you, and you're really fast, and you retain your energy pretty well. We are going to have some sound glitches. I don't know how to turn that destroy the attacking enemy units notification off, and it causes my jet engine background noise to glitch out. But basically, I'm following the same routine. This time, I climb away to the right. I don't want to get caught up in the early fights here. Mainly because me as a player, I don't like getting involved in the early fight. There are a lot of planes coming in on each other, and it's easy to lose track of what you're doing and get killed. So we're floating in behind this BF-109. We instantly kill him. He didn't know I was there. Dove on him pretty fast. And that behind me there is a corpse flying down to the ground, basically. That plane is dead. But we do spot another enemy, and I'm going to boost my engine. You can't hear it because the sound is a little glitched out. But I'm going to try to get to this guy quickly. It's a 9 UT, and now he's going to start trying to do some defensive maneuvers, mainly turning. The idea there, why turning isn't a bad idea for him, is he assumed me being a jet, I'm very fast. And also, since I dove on him a bit, I would be too fast. But this plane is so maneuverable, that's not a viable option. His tail's gone, so he's basically dead. But not quite all the way yet. And there we go. Sawed his wing off. It was an easy shot for me to just aim at his right wing and let the deflection shoot out his left wing. It's basically how I think about it in my mind. Deflection is just a fancy term for leading your shot. So now we're going to try and get my engine back up here. My stolen German engine. And I see some fighting going on over here. This guy's doing something wacky where he's climbed up real high and just seems to be wanting head-to-heads with 3 people. And he wins that one. So it's a Focke-Wulf. Focke-Wulf's a very heavily armed plane. I don't want to mess with him on the front side, because it will end up in another one of those situations like the last game where he hits me with one bullet and my plane turns to Swiss cheese and bursts into flames. So I don't really want that. Kind of want to avoid him if at all possible. So we're just going to climb up over him. I think he's dead now. Anyhow, so I'm going to climb back over towards their direction. And we see some prey over there. A little dot. And he doesn't seem to be terribly aware of me right now. It looks like a bear cat. Yep, so he's gone. And that's the biggest thing for arcade and every mode in this game, is you need to be aware of your surroundings. And especially common of players who take head-to-heads a lot, they tend to tunnel vision. So I rise out of this guy's dive and slip in behind him. The main thing there is I'm pretty sure he didn't care about me at all. He just wanted to go on this ally down here. But now he's going to climb right into my bullets. And his elevator is ruined, so he's dead. And there we go. Blow him apart. So, again, that was an awareness problem. I don't know that other player was aware that I was on top of them throughout that fight. They just wanted to dive that poor Spitfire down there and try and get an easy spit kill, and they didn't get it. So, there's somebody shooting at me. I saw them out of the corner of my eye. You don't see it on the demo. But I just do a quick loop, and now I am on top of them. This Focke-Wulf tried to take a head-to-head with me, basically. I maneuver out of it. I end up directly behind him by doing a roll. And now he's dead. Well, loop rather than a roll. I just loop over. They're below and in front of me. It's the easiest thing in the book whenever somebody wants to take a head-to-head with you. The hard part there was actually dodging him without taking that much ammo. I'm pretty sure he only hit me with machine guns, so not that much damage occurred. And now we're going to try and dive on this heavy bomber, mainly for you guys, to show you the difficulties of diving a heavy bomber in this plane. The main issue is I just don't have enough ammo, and 23mm shots don't seem to do that much to these really heavy bombers. So that's a B-17. So far, I'm having trouble even hitting him. I hit the tail gunner a little bit and kill him instantly. So I'm going to loop down, like, look at that! Look at that loop down time. The elevators on this thing are great, but there's way too many people over there on that B-17, and I don't want to take a shot from a friendly, burst into flames, and die. I'm pretty sure that's the end of this one. I see a red dot over there, but I don't think I'm going to get the opportunity to do anything. Oh, it's a Focke-Wulf, yeah, but the mission ends, so... And there you have it, the Yak-15. There's another variant that I'm getting right now that only has one gun and 60 bullets, so it'll be even harder. So I'm terribly excited for that. I really like flying this plane in arcade. And so we'll see. I might post videos for other planes that I've got. If you have any special requests, let me know. I can fly basically anything in here. I don't have every plane yet for the Soviets, but I'm working through it. So I hope you found the video to be enjoyable. I really just like this game a lot. I haven't messed around with Simulator because I don't have a stick or a controller that would work. I've played around with Realistic, but I don't know if it's really my cup of tea. Arcade's simpler, you get it to reload, fuel isn't really a concern, and you just kill stuff. So it's what I used to love about pubbing in TF2 before it got ruined by the short circuit. So in any case, I hope you enjoyed the video. Enjoyed the trainer Yak-15 put into an ahistorical battle. And I'll see you next time.